A Sumerian clay tablet records 6 cities buried beneath the earth, each governed by its own ruler, some positioned over 2,000 kilometers below the surface. That's deeper than the outer core. The tablet wasn't poetry. It was written in the administrative language of temple bureaucrats, the same scribes who inventoried grain and livestock. So why were they cataloging an underground kingdom? The answer begins with how cuneiform actually worked. In ancient Sumer, writing was a tool of power. It was born not from poetry, but from the demands of city life. Scribes, the anonymous hands behind thousands of clay tablets, shaped the machinery of the world's first cities. Their work began in tablet schools called Idiub, where students drilled the same set of administrative formulas until they could copy them without error. By the early 3rd millennium BCE, these schools produced a steady stream of record keepers, each trained to inscribe the movement of barley, sheep, and silver with a stylus pressed into wet clay. Most tablets were not grand declarations. Instead, they were receipts, inventories, and lists. Excavations at Flourished, Dagan, a redistribution center near Nippur, uncovered hundreds of tablets detailing livestock transfers, each sealed in its envelope and stacked in archive pits. At Umma, temple scribes tracked every bushel of grain received, every tax allocated, and every ration distributed. The language was formulaic. Verbs like to give, to receive, and to allocate repeat across the records, along with the phrase king's house as a mark of official business. This bureaucracy extended to the Sumerian king list, a text that reads like a ledger, tracking the succession of rulers from Eridu to Ur. Even the most mythic-sounding documents followed the same administrative tone, with columns of city names and rulers, as if recording the transfer of authority alongside the transfer of goods. The line between myth and paperwork was thin. When a tablet lists cities, above or below ground, its structure echoes the lists that governed real lives. For the scribes, cataloging the world, visible or hidden, was all part of the job. The clay tablet at the heart of this mystery is a survivor from a world obsessed with counting, cataloging, and control. Its surface, once crisp with wedge-shaped cuneiform, now bears the scars of time. Abrasion has erased the upper left corner, and several critical signs are lost to history. Yet even in this worn state, the tablet structure is unmistakable. Columns run down the face, each line beginning with a verb, to assign, to measure, or to allocate, followed by a number and a place name. The numbers are not arbitrary. Here, the unit of distance is the Sumerian league, a measure that falls somewhere between 5 and 7 kilometers, depending on which city's standard was used. Tablets from Drem and Umma show that a league could be calculated as 12 ninda, with each ninda measuring about 6 meters. Though regional variations abound, scribes mark these distances with a stylus, often using the logogram for great road or boundary. On this tablet, the league appears repeatedly, sometimes as a whole number, sometimes as a fraction, inviting close calculation. But the damage complicates things. In several places, the cuneiform for league is only partially visible, and the sign for depth is badly worn, leaving scholars to debate whether the text refers to vertical descent, horizontal distance, or something symbolic. The administrative tone remains clear. Each entry reads like a bureaucratic record, not a mythic tale. The verbs are the same ones found on tax receipts and livestock inventories, anchoring this tablet in the world of real scribal routine. The challenge lies in the gaps. Where a city name is missing or a number is unclear, even the most skilled epigraphers must guess, sometimes reconstructing from parallel documents, sometimes leaving a blank. Uncertainty will cast a long shadow as the documentary turns from the physical tablet to the question of what, if anything, these numbers reveal about the cities supposedly hidden inside the earth. The battered cuneiform tablet lists 6 cities, each buried at a precise depth, each ruled by a single figure. The first, Irkalla, lies 3 leagues below the surface and is given to Ereshkigal. Known as the City of the Dead, Irkalla is silent and final. Ereshkigal, Queen of the Great Earth, rules alone, her authority absolute, her palace the endpoint for every soul. Next is Ikur, at 4.5 leagues, assigned to Enlil. Ikur, the mountain house, is usually the seat of the air god, but here it is shifted downward, deep beneath the earth. Enlil, Lord of Wind and Storm, is recast as ruler of a hidden court, suggesting a bureaucracy that extends far below the world of men. The third city, Abzu, lies at 6 leagues, ruled by Enki. Abzu, the freshwater abyss, is the source of life and wisdom in Sumerian thought. Enki, god of water and craft, presides over this reservoir. Rituals once sent offerings down wells to honor him, echoing the administrative tone of the tablet's record. Fourth is Ganzir, at 7.5 leagues, under Namtar's dominion. Ganzir, the great gate of the underworld, is the fortress through which all must pass. Namtar, whose name means fate, is Ereshkigal's herald and judge, the one who delivers the sentence of death. His authority reaches through every hall of the dead. Fifth comes Kigal, at 9 leagues, ruled by Ningishzida. Kigal, another name for the underworld, is a land of no return. Ningishzida, sometimes shown as a serpent or tree, serves as guardian and guide for souls on their descent. His cult flourished at Gishbanda, but here he stands as gatekeeper among the rulers below. Last is Urugal, at 10.5 leagues, overseen by Nergal. Urugal, the great city, marks the tablet's deepest point. Nergal, god of plague and war, is often Ereshkigal's consort. Akkadian myth tells how he storms the underworld and seizes the throne by force, a mythic echo of the transfer of power recorded here. Each city's depth and function, judgment, decree, water, fate, wandering, final rest, form a vertical order. The ruler's titles, queen, lord, judge, herald, guardian, king, map a strict hierarchy, as rigid as any surface kingdom. The tablet's register reveals a world beneath, structured by descent, each domain governed by a power every Sumerian would have known by name. No single reading of the tablet commands universal agreement. 3 rival schools dominate the scholarly field, each with its own method, its own champions, and its own blind spots. Samuel Noah Kramer, the godfather of Sumerian philology, stands for literalism. He treats the city list as a bureaucratic survey of the underworld, arguing that each entry describes an actual domain beneath the earth, mapped with the same precision as a tax district. Kramer's approach depends on administrative verbs and the recurrence of the Sumerian League, treating each depth as a real measure. He points to parallels with the Sumerian king list, where cities and rulers are tracked as a matter of record, not myth. Stephanie Daly, by contrast, reads the tablet as a ritual script. In her view, the text is not a map, but a guide for cultic performance, a liturgy recited at funerary rites or temple festivals. Daly's translations often insert explanatory notes about symbolic descent, stressing that verbs like assign or allocate may refer to the ritual transfer of offerings, not the movement of souls or rulers. She draws on comparative evidence from the Inanna descent myth, where each gate or hall marks a stage in the journey to the underworld. For Daly, The 6 cities are not places but phases, steps in a communal drama enacted above ground. A third camp, sometimes called the alternative literalists, pushes the boundaries further. These interpreters treat the tablet as a lost blueprint for a hidden world, insisting that the numbers and names encode secret knowledge of real subterranean spaces. They draw on echoes from other ancient traditions, Greek Hades, Egyptian Duat, even Buddhist Shambhala, arguing for a cross-cultural myth of inner Earth cities. Yet their case often hangs on ambiguous Sumerian signs. The polyvalence of cuneiform, where a single wedge can mean city, gate, or domain, fuels endless debate. Some signs, battered by time, resist definitive translation. Was the sign for depth a measure of vertical distance, or did it mean stage in a ritual? Did ruler mean a deity, a judge, or a ceremonial title? The result is a scholarly impasse. Each school marshals evidence from other texts, from archaeological finds, from the shifting sands of Sumerian lexicon. Yet the ambiguity of the tablet itself, its damaged signs, its formulaic language, its echoes of myth and bureaucracy, leaves the field open and the stakes unresolved. The question of what the tablet truly describes remains suspended, inviting new readings but resisting final answers. Ancient tablets still fuel debate about what lies beneath our feet, whether myth, memory, or coded geography. Today, discoveries from Sumer's forgotten libraries remind us every civilization maps its mysteries somewhere. As new texts emerge, the line between legend and knowledge grows ever thinner. What boundaries will future tablets erase?